Good afternoon, and thank you to Ben Zinga for letting me present STEM Holdings today. My name is Adam Burke, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of STEM Holdings. And today we will discuss who we are, our vision, our go-to-market strategy, our management team, 2019 calendar highlights, some of our recent core initiatives, our cultivation facilities, house of brands, and social responsibility. Here are our disclaimers for the Canadian U.S. investors. STEM this past year has made the conversion from a cannabis real estate company to a multi-state, vertically integrated cannabis and CBD hemp company. We have positioned ourselves as a pioneer in the industry with our proprietary capabilities in sustainable cultivation, proprietary extraction, research and development. Our award-winning brands are the foundation of our rapid expansion, which will benefit well-being. Our expertise and scale will drive growth both domestically and internationally for all of our stakeholders. Our mission is to connect world-class independent tested cannabis and hemp products to our consumers with a unique portfolio of brands that meet multiple classes. As you will see later in the presentation, we'll have multiple brands for different market segments around the country. Our vision statement is to lead the cannabis and hemp industries through innovation, expansion, brand loyalty, and uncompromising product quality. Today, we control our entire supply chain from soil to sale. And I say soil because we make our own soil with over 30 different organic amendments. It's no-till living soil, and this is what we use throughout the U.S. Our values are for our customers, employees, partners, and stakeholders, and we operate with a commitment to growing with the highest standard of quality, ethics, and safety. We give our customers full transparency. We adhere to the highest standards in all of our activities. We'll walk through some of our company's senior management. My background originally is food and beverage and real estate. I started the first online food ordering company, which is now Grubhub, took that public with Aramark, and then after that started a men's grooming company called Hyde for Men. It was an artisanal men's grooming brand that was sold at mass market retail, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Harmons. Next is Ellen Deutsch. She's our new Chief Operating Officer. She's our newest hire. She was brought on from Hain Celestial. She was their Chief Growth Officer and their Chief Marketing Officer. She was there for over 22 years, and she was Erwin Simon's right hand. Next is Steve Hubbard. He's our CFO. He brings with him a strong financial background from the semiconductor world. He also did multiple turnarounds with Arthur Andersen. Followed by Jessica Feingold. She's our Senior Legal Officer. She's in-house counsel. She helped create some of the edible laws around the country. She also handles compliance and oversees all of our license acquisition and applications. Dr. Jeff Ostroff is our Director of Business Development. He manages all the construction projects, city compliance regulations. His background's in public policy and city planning. He was also the president of one of the first recreational cannabis licenses. Maria Betts is our Director of Branding and Public Relations. She created one of the first cannabis creative agencies in 2014. She has led brand development for some of the most successful companies around the country. And then lastly, Preston Greene. He's our facility manager in purchasing. He was the CEO of Yerba Buena, an acquisition we made this past summer. His background's in law and real estate. His roots are in agriculture. His family owns one of the largest almond farms in Northern California. Everyone knows the market opportunity is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, and with the current vaping crisis, we see more traffic being driven to licensed regulated dispensaries than ever. Our sales over the last 4 weeks are up over 28%, with our price per pound being up over 40%. This is a depiction on how we connect cannabis to our consumers. Number one is our strong brands and award-winning cultivars. We have our own genetics and our own breeding program that was all housed out of the Yerba Buena facility. This allows us to constantly launch new tested genetics. Number two is our integrated operations for efficiency. We now have successfully integrated all of the licenses we've either acquired or built out. We're still waiting for a change of ownership from some local municipalities, and that should occur by the end of the year. Number three is our experienced leadership team, hiring personnel like Ellen Deutsch and our director of sales, Eugene Pertel, who came from Nike, makes our organization run seamlessly and allows us to have tack-on acquisitions and integrate those in 90 days. Number 4 is launching STEM Medical Holdings. This is where our monographed and CBD products will reside. This is one of our newest divisions that we launched. This is being overseen by Dr. Drury Eisen. He's a well-known dermatologist from the Midwest. He's conducted many clinical trials with Procter & Gamble. And then number 5 is our platform developed both domestically and internationally. We're structured to expand internationally. We already have a research and development license in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and are working on a joint venture with Hebrew University and the BNS Group. STEM is currently traded on the OTCQX underneath the symbol STMH. We have about 50 million shares outstanding. We are a U.S. registrant. Our primary domicile is the U.S. Up in Canada, we're on the CSE underneath STEM. Currently about 5.9 million shares in the public float, and our market cap's about 52 million. We have a little over 3.7 million in cash sitting on our balance sheets, total assets of 39 million, and we own almost all of the real estate inside of our entity and all of the CapEx as well. In 2019, we'll do about 10 million with 2 million in EBITDA, and then in 2020, we'll do about 40 million. We just completed about 4 construction projects, which you'll see later on in the presentation, and we're waiting for a lot of the licenses to transfer in. Additionally, we received a letter in Maryland. We finished 4th for processing, so we'll receive a processing license in Maryland this year, and we just signed an LOI for Massachusetts. We already have the host agreements in place for a dispensary in Great Barrington, and a 28,000 square foot facility we'll build in Northampton and a processing plant there as well. Over the last 90 days, we have executed on the following. First was signing the deal with TJ's Gardens, premier cultivator top shelf in Oregon. We valued that acquisition at $12.5 million. It was an all-stock transaction. They owned over 3 dispensaries, multiple cultivation facilities throughout the state, an extraction facility, a distribution company, and a commercial kitchen and edibles brand, Canivore. Next, we signed a deal with a company called Apex, which is one of the largest licensing companies in North America, traded on the NASDAQ. They own brands such as High Tech, Everyday California, and Magnum. We'll be launching CBD topical brands for all of those names, and they'll be headed towards mass market distribution, Dick's Sporting Goods, Sportsman's Warehouse, Cabela's, and Kohl's. And then lastly, we announced the launch of STEM Medical Holdings, being overseen by Dr. Drury Eisen. Once again, that's where all of the monograph products will sit. We achieved first revenues at 3 new facilities. The first was 42nd Street. That's our new 28,000 square foot indoor grow facility, full clean room technology. The first room harvested over 70 pounds. We were able to sell all of that product at over $2,000 a pound wholesale. Next is Molino Farms. That's our 42,000 square foot light depth greenhouse facility. Most of that product gets sent to the Willie Nelson's brand. We have a branding deal with Willie Nelson's group called Willie's Reserve. And then lastly, Nevada finally launched. It took us about a year to build out our Las Vegas facility. We now have cultivation in the market and our Canivore Edibles brand. Number 2 is we're ready for production at 2 new facilities. So the first is our Applegate Farm. That's our 40-acre farm where we're growing our industrial hemp and CBD. And our San Diego facility will come online in the first quarter. We have 4 licenses in San Diego: cultivation, extraction, edibles, and distribution. We executed our LOI to buy our Sacramento dispensary. That will be finished in the end of Q4, beginning of Q1. That dispensary does about $8 million in revenue with over $2 million in EBITDA. Also had $1.5 million in cash on the balance sheet. We added Dennis Susskind to our advisory board. He comes from Goldman Sachs. And then obviously hiring our new Chief Operating Officer, Ellen Deutsch. Some of the calendar highlights from this past year for Q2. We began construction in San Diego. We signed that licensing deal with Grune. Grune was a fast-acting gummy company out of Portland. We launched their entire technology in Nevada. We just built them a gummy kitchen. We opened up our first store in Oklahoma City. We had our first harvest at Molino Farms, and then that went to the Willie's Reserve product. In Q3, we acquired Yerba Buena. That was a facility at 10,000 square feet up in Portland. They have their own genetics and breeding program. We signed the Apex deal. In Q4, we'll be harvesting all of our CBD out of the Molino Farms product. That will all be headed towards our tincture line. We hired Chief Operating Officer Ellen Deutsch, and we launched our Travis James brand in Nevada. Some core initiatives: we'll exceed over $40 million in revenue over the next 12 months. The 7LV acquisition, that's the Sacramento dispensary, will close. And our no-till living soil IP continues to be a driver for our cultivation brands. We make that from scratch and get shipped around the country, and then eventually internationally to where we cultivate. We're also building a tissue culture lab at our 42nd Street facility, and that should be online by the end of Q2.
With well-established roots in the Oregon cannabis community, STEM Holdings is rapidly expanding our proven vertically integrated business model across the U.S. It began with a partnership with the historic cannabis brand TJ's Gardens. We established a seed-to-sale model that covers cultivation, production, distribution, and retail. Today, STEM Holdings has 5 cultivation facilities, 3 retail stores, and has received 29 licenses for various segments of the cannabis space. Our retail and branding experience begins with the proprietary cultivation process and extends all the way through to our retail stores. TJ's dispensaries in Oregon are built to convey a natural, caring, knowledgeable atmosphere to best serve each customer that walks through our doors. Current expansions for our retail locations are underway. We have developed a number of in-house brands that are all supplied by the TJ's Gardens cultivators. Our edibles brand, Canivore, offers consumers handcrafted cannabis confections made with artisan ingredients. Dosology includes CBD tincture and extract products. Our forthcoming brand, Travis X James, will provide cannabis connoisseurs with high-end flower products. Recently, our expansion efforts have focused on the 42nd Street cultivation facility just outside of Eugene, Oregon. The property features an impressive 22 indoor grow rooms with 30,000 square feet and a 2,500-pound output. Beyond our current strategic partnerships, our team is working toward expansion to other markets. Currently, we are entering markets in Oklahoma, California, Nevada, New Jersey, Florida, and potentially international markets. Learn more about our cannabis investment opportunity at www.step.
So there's a little bit about some of the brands, some of the facilities that were under construction at the time we filmed. Some of the unique competitive advantages we have is we own all of our real estate, as I said before. We haven't done a sale leaseback. We're keeping that on our balance sheet for now. And we're constantly breeding all new strains and genetics inside all of our facilities. So just to walk through some of the facilities, 42nd Street is our new 28,000 square foot indoor grow facility. The TJ's Wallace facility is a 30,000 square foot facility campus, 2 buildings, 18,000 square feet is cultivation, and then the 12,000 square feet building across the street is Class 1 Division 1 extraction lab, commercial kitchen, and distribution bay. In Oklahoma, our farm there is over 800,000 square feet. Currently, we've converted about 30,000 square feet for cultivation. In San Diego, we're building out that facility there. In Nevada, we have 6,000 square feet that's already online, products in the market. In Applegate Farms, we have our 40-acre farm. That's where we're growing our CBD and industrial hemp. The Yerba Buena facility is a 10,000 square foot facility in Portland. And then Molino Farms is our 14-acre farm with 42,000 square feet of light depth greenhouse. As you walk through the brands, we own almost all of the brands that we have, especially on the top row. So TJ's Gardens is our top shelf brand, followed by Yerba Buena, which is a mid-tier brand. And then Travis James is our prepackaged top shelf brand. That's what we've recently launched in Nevada. Edibles will be Canivore. Our CBD topical brand is Dosology, and that will launch Q1. The packaging just arrived from Italy last week. So all that product is formulated, ready to go out for sale. On the dispensary side, TJ's on Powell, TJ's on Willamette, and TJ's Provisions are our 3 locations in Oregon, followed by STEM, Oklahoma, and then Foothills Wellness, which is the 7LV acquisition, the dispensary up in Sacramento. And then lastly, our distribution company, Reefer Distribution. We have a fleet of refrigerated trucks, so all of our products get distributed in temperature-controlled vehicles. Under licenses, our Willie's Reserve product, the Garoon product, and then the CBD products for Magnum, High Tech, and then Everyday California. TJ's Gardens, besides just the cultivars, they're also known for their tinctures, award-winning, some of our best products with over 65% margin as well. We have our 2-to-1, our 1-to-1, both sativa and indica. And then for Yerba Buena, not just top shelf flower, but also live resin carts, which is our new product that we just launched in the market. And this will be coming to California very soon as well. Here's the packaging for Travis James. And then on the right-hand side is the Willie Reserve pre-roll packaging. We also have launched vape pens for them as well. I'm going to show you a video for Carnivore, and that's our edibles brand that we have operational in both Oregon and Nevada, and then we'll be operational in Q1 in California.
A new frontier lies before us, for those who are hungry to discover. And we are at the forefront. We are Carnivore, makers of handcrafted artisan treats, infused with award-winning cannabis oil from the experts at TJ's Organic Gardens. Taste our small batch confections, made with locally sourced, natural ingredients. Original, sweet, and undeniably delicious. Do you have an appetite for adventure? Join us. Find out more at eatcarnivore.com. Carnivore. Feed your senses.
So on the left-hand side is the Carnivore packaging, sweet and sour gummy, salted caramel chews, double chocolate chip cookies, and then brownie bites. On the right-hand side is the Groon gummies. Those are the gummies that we'll be launching in Nevada. Every gummy is stamped with the THC logo on them. Here's the packaging for Dosology. This will include our rescue cream, or under-eye serum, and then 3 body and massage oils. On the left-hand side is the dispensary that we built in Oklahoma City. On the bottom right-hand side is TJ's Provisions. That was the first dispensary that we had in the market. We built that building from the ground up, utilizing reclaimed wood, marble, and granite countertops. On the left-hand side is TJ's on Willamette. We bought the Register Guard building. That was the oldest newspaper in Oregon, and we re-outfitted that as a dispensary. And then on the right-hand side is TJ's on Powell, coffee and cannabis. We built a coffee shop inside. We're seeing over 2,000 unique visitors a month now in this market. And then lastly, Foothills Wellness. This is our Sacramento dispensary. Like I said, we'll do about $8 million in revenue in 19 with over $2 million in EBITDA, and their rec license will come in December, so that's all medical. On the CBD hemp side, we have multiple CBD hemp licenses: Oregon, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and New York. This past year in Pennsylvania, we planted as a test case 2 acres, 8,500 plants. We just harvested all of that biomass. We shipped that back to our extraction facility, and we'll turn that all into our award-winning TJ CBD tincture. We're also in the middle of a study program with Cornell University underneath Dr. Larry Smart. We're working with Dr. Smart on 100 different plants that we have growing at the university. He's also successfully feminized seeds for our clones. What's unique is that in this middle of this study, we realized that inside our genetic, there's a gene that's resistant to powdery mildew, which the university hasn't seen before. So we're now working on a way to segregate that particular gene and see what we can do with it. And then lastly, we're in conversations with Cornell's vet school. They want to start formulating an extract utilizing the hemp that we have growing at the university to treat dogs and cats in a research pool. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have a research and development license there. We're working with local farmers that already received amnesty. We'll be building an EU GMP facility there to extract all of the genetics and SOPs that we're bringing to that island. And then lastly, the Forest Initiative. This is our social responsibility and our give back to the community. We currently treat about 70% of the adult children with epilepsy in the state of Oregon with our CBD tincture. The program was originally called TJ's Kids. We rebranded it as the Forest Initiative. Forest was patient zero inside this program. It equates to about 150 families that we are giving the CBD tincture to. And then lastly, as the investment summary, we're a vertically integrated company from soil to sale. We operate in both THC and CBD platforms. We have an experienced management team ready for our growth both domestically and internationally. We have a whole portfolio of brands, and we are a multi-state operator.